So here's a question I get a lot. Where do you get your ideas? And I always think, oh, that's a hard one to answer. Stephen King wrote in On Writing, if you ask a writer where they get their ideas, they can't tell you because they don't know. They just kind of arrive. And I know that probably sounds really weird, but it is true. Sometimes characters will just start talking to me. Sometimes I'll get a scene in my head and I have to write it down. Sometimes I'll hear a dialogue in my head. So it's true, I don't really know where they come from. So upon further reflection, I thought perhaps in terms of creative writing, the best thing I could offer would be some advice on how to inspire ideas, to ignite your imagination perhaps in ways that allow the ideas to flow. The first way to keep that creative channel on, read. Read. Don't stop reading. And I don't think it matters if you're reading fiction or nonfiction, as long as you're reading, because it keeps your mind engaged and it keeps your mind thinking. Read as much as you can across genres. So even if you are a fiction fan, try reading some nonfiction, some essays, and vice versa. While I'm not a huge advocate of TV, there are shows and movies that can definitely inspire my imagination. For example, I get inspired every time I watch Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. It just does something in my brain that causes me to imagine. Same with the Harry Potter series. Stranger Things from Netflix. I mean, there are just shows and ways to be visually inspired. Oh, Christopher Nolan's Interstellar and Inception. Both of those just inspire me to think and imagine. So I think there are ways to build those imaginative ideas by being inspired by others' work. Third thing I would say is to listen. And what I mean by listen is to listen to people speak around you, listen to the ways that they talk, listen to the rhythms of the way people are inspired to converse with one another. But not just that, also music was another kind of reason for that. I love music. I'm extremely inspired by music, both with lyrics and without. I think you can find stories in both of them. My mom, when I was little, we would listen to a piece of music and she would say, "What's happening? What's the story of this piece?" And I think that's one of the reasons music has always been a part of my creative process. Number 4, observe. And I don't think this is probably shocking to anyone. Watch the way people interact around you. Watch animals, watch plants, watch the way things move, watch the way things grow. Those observations are critical in terms of writing, but also just in terms of inspiring. I highly suggest keeping a journal, a daily reflective journal. You reflect on your day, reflect on your thinking, reflect on something you've read, reflect on a musical piece you've listened to. Actively reflecting and thinking about kind of the things that have inspired you throughout the day is one way that those ideas creep in and then get developed. So I spend time every day, usually every morning, in my journal, and I find it very, very, very helpful. All right, that said, I'm going to end this creative video with a prompt for you so that you can put some ideas into practice.